Good day and welcome to SCO BRICS Insight, where we look at what's really going on in the world of the BRICS. Now, the World Bank has recently classified Russia as a high-income country. The document's published on the World Bank's website, so go and have a look if you're interested. In addition to Russia, Bulgaria and Palau have been included in this category. Now, according to the World Bank criteria, high-income countries are states where the gross income indicator is at least $13,845 per annum. On July the 1st, the World Bank moved Russia from the categories with above average income to that of high-income countries. According to the institution, Russia's increased economic activity is linked to the growth in revenues because of the military sector. Now, you have to laugh at the World Bank's reasons. It links this increased growth to the military situation in the Ukraine and not the fact that Russia actually produces things that other countries want to buy. So it exports vast quantities of things like fertilizers, grains, metals, petrochemicals. Its industrial sectors, unlike the West, are not 70% made up of services. However, this new rating by the World Bank now puts the Russian Federation on the same and in the highest level as the United States, Canada, Australia, Japan, Saudi Arabia and most of Europe. Now, the recovery of the trade and financial sectors of the economy have also had a positive effect in the World Bank. This has led to growth in the nominal and gross domestic product GDP. According to the World Bank, these indicators grew by 3.6% and 10.9% respectively. Now, the national income, they reckon, increased by 11.2%. Now, given that real incomes are falling in the US and Europe, it shows that despite the best efforts of the West to destroy its economy, Russia continues to prosper. Now, earlier on the 11th of June, the World Bank predicted global GDP of 2.6% in 2024, and its forecasts for Russia's GDP have also been revised upwards. According to the World Bank experts, Russia's economy will grow by 2.9% in 2024, 1.4% in 2025 and 1.1% in 2026. At the same time, it expects the world growth to be 2.2% in 2024 and 1.1% in 2025. Now, I'd like to point out, though, that the figures that the IMF and the World Bank have predicted for Russia over the past few years have actually been much lower than the figures that Russia's actually achieved. So you could look at these as politically motivated by Western economists who are always negative about Russia, and any positive growth figures that they have to give out are done so grudgingly and through gritted teeth. Now, do remember that the World Bank is based in Washington and by tradition has always had an American at its head. Now, before I continue, I'd like to appeal to you that if you enjoy my videos, you can help me fund the channel with a small donation. This will help the channel to further develop, and if you wish to do so, just click on the thanks button at the bottom of the screen and I thank you in advance. Now, how is a country's income level calculated? Well, the World Bank classifies countries into 4 distinct income groups: high, above average, below average and low. Now, according to the World Bank's classification, high-income countries are those with a gross national income per capita of more than $13,845 per annum. GNI is the total value of goods and services produced in a country during a year. Now, this indicator doesn't actually reflect the real actual income of the population. The classification just covers sovereign states with a population of more than 30,000. The gross national income is calculated according to the Atlas method, which uses a conversion factor based on the average exchange rate of a country for the current year and the previous 2 years, and they adjust it for the differences with inflation. In 2024, as I said, 3 countries entered the high income category: Russia, Palau and Bulgaria. Previously they were middle income countries. In 2023, they reckoned Russia's GNI per capita rose to 14,250, and a year earlier it was 12,830, so it's quite a big difference. But anyway, now let's look back to the IMF, to the World Bank and IMF in April 2024. They presented updated estimates of countries' GDP and purchasing power parity, which showed that Russia had overtaken Germany and Japan to take 4th place in the list. China obviously tops the list with a GDP of PPP at 35 trillion. Now, Russia regained this position in 2021, overtaking Germany and Japan. At the time, the country's share of global GDP was 3.8%. Its domestic GDP at PPP reached 5.7 trillion in 2021. 2022, its economy grew at 6 trillion, in 2023, 6.45. And in particular, that was because Russia adopted some serious anti-crisis packages and supported its citizens and businesses during the COVID. I mean, these support measures really did focus on the industries that were most affected, and particularly small and medium-sized enterprises. Now, this economic growth allowed Russia to enter the top four, and that was achieved thanks to prompt and systematic measures that the Russian government has taken. So why is Russia's economy now booming even more? And what are the reasons for this optimism? And why are Russia's industrial sectors growing at such a fast pace? Well, there's a number of key factors that are driving the industrial and economic growth. I mean, the main drivers of the growth are manufacturing and construction. I mean, for example, the production of computers, electronics and optics in Russia has increased by almost 40% in the first 5 months of 2024 compared with the same period last year. This is largely the result of government measures aimed at achieving technological sovereignty and supporting companies involved in import substitution. It's also worth noting the positive dynamics in the chemical and food sectors. I mean, on the food and agricultural sector, it's worth remembering that Russia is self-sufficient in food production. And it's not just in raw food like wheats and grains, but in their processing with the wheat used to produce a wide range of products from breads, pastas, cakes, biscuits. Well, it used to be actually a large importer of these type of products from the West. Now you're more likely to see a wide range of Russian brands of pasta, cakes and biscuits, etc. on the shelves of the supermarkets, and they're all of excellent quality. Plus, all of this high-quality food is grown in non-GMO seeds. Now, obviously, Russia has huge amounts of land with the rich, black, fertile soil of the steppes, so growing it does help. Plus, does the availability of cheap fertilizer, which other countries don't have such access to. Now, in the meat sector, Russia produces a huge amount of beef, lamb, pork, poultry, and it's fed by a homegrown feed, which is actually a residue from sunflower and rapeseed oil production. They take out the oil and you're left with these husks, which is high in protein, and it helps develop high quality meat at prices that importers cannot compete with. The livestock is also not dosed up with growth hormones, so you're getting quality meat, which is in high demand in China and Southeast Asia, and exports to those places continues to grow and develop the Russian economy. In the dairy sector, it's also self-sufficient, and over the last 10 years, many companies have sprung up, making a wide variety of dairy products from a wide range of cheeses modelled on foreign types like Parmesan, Brie, Cheddar and others. Also infant milk formula supplement products, plus types of yogurts and all sorts of other types of dairy has been developed. In fact, all across the food sector, Russia's gone from being a huge importer to now having a fully developed food production sector. As I said, it not only produces high quality products for the domestic market, but it's now an exporter to the major countries of Central and Southeast Asia. Now, one of the most important conditions for maintaining the high rates of economic growth is the support for investment activity, particularly private investment. Now, this has been helped immensely by the amount of capital that's actually returned to Russia after the imposition of sanctions, and it was looking for places to invest. I mean, this helped the further development of supply-side economy in so many different areas. I mean, there's been a notable increase in the investment in the creation of new industries and new sectors and the further development of the existing ones. Also, there's been an increase in non-resource exports, as I mentioned, like food, agriculture. Also, there's been an increase in household spending because incomes are higher, so people have got more money to spend, and they also are saving more. mean, this ensures the long-term nature of the demand. In other words, the population's actually supporting the demand for domestic industrial products by Russian. Consequently, exports, including raw materials, also help maintain a positive trade balance. Russia has the financial resources to purchase things abroad that it needs that hasn't actually already undergone import substitution, as well as a means of production, including producing machines and equipment for domestic factories. I mean, its trade surplus has increased to 18.8% in the first 4 months of 2024, and it reached 50.5 million. Now, the achievement of a balanced trade system is largely because of the restoration of its non-resource exports. This has reduced Russia's reliance on the global price of oil and gas. So it's now managed to balance its economy. So now neither the price of commodities on the exchanges or the Western financial markets are going to affect what's happening in the economies of Russia. And its borrowings, unlike its Western enemies, are relatively low, and its currency is far from being ruble, is stable. Its economy is buoyant and continues to grow. So all in all, the future looks bright for Russia and its people. And anyway, thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. And if you enjoyed the video, please help me fund the channel and the website SCO BRICS Insight with lots of great news and information by clicking on the thanks button at the bottom of the screen. Thank you, and I'll see you all again soon.